outside the Khatib MRT station. Pretty loud out here during the morning commute. I'm headed over to the Mandai Zoological Park, and I got myself some buns to eat. This one's chicken. There's a shop right here at the station. I'm not sure if I can tell that's chicken, but the sauce is really tangy. The bun is nice and fluffy. That's delicious. Another one that I'm going to try here is the mushroom. Look at that. Creamy, cheesy, not a whole lot of mushroom flavor, but it's there. Pretty good breakfast. Oh, it's actually mayonnaise. That was unexpected. Okay. This, I believe, the sardine bun. Fishiness is there, but it's not bad. Finally, curry. This one's curry. Almost forgot. Not overpowering flavor. It kind of develops over time. It's good. This will make for a great breakfast. The Mandai Wildlife Reserve has evolved from the original Singapore Zoo I knew into a sprawling series of parks, including the original zoological park, a freshwater park known as River Wonders, an avian-centered park called Bird Paradise, and an expanded night safari where one can view the nocturnal species. I understand there is an additional park on the west side of the property that will be called Rainforest Wild when it opens. Each of these parks individually feels about the size of a mid-sized zoo all by themselves, and together constitute a massive park that... Is it a little weird to travel some 9,000 miles to see a zoo? Perhaps. But this is unlike any zoo you've ever visited in the US. It has a much more open plan, with more public enclosures that allow you to truly get up close and personal with many of the animals. And they do post signs warning you that the macaque monkeys will bite if you harass them, so if you get your finger bitten off, unlike in the US, you can't sue the zoo for not preventing you from doing something stupid. I kind of appreciated this. I started off in the main zoo. Aside from the aforementioned open plan, they also have numerous interactive opportunities like feeding some of the animals. If you arrive early, you can eat breakfast and see a presentation of some of the animals and even get to meet a few up close. But it all felt quite familiar, laid out in various zones for animals that live in similar habitats, or at least on the same continent. River Wonders focuses on fauna that live in freshwater lakes and waterways, and the way they interact between the water and the shore. The enormous live tank is the centerpiece of this part of the park, although there is something of a safari ride that combines an actual safari river cruise with a log plume ride. It was closed for maintenance while I was there, so I didn't get to see it. Well, soon enough, it was time for lunch, and trust me, I was ready. Everybody here at our main restaurant at the Singapore Zoo. Got myself a little lunch. I got the mala chicken noodle, the xiaoxiang. Let's give it a shot. Lots of different components: broccoli, woodier mushroom, carrot. This might be potato.
lotus root, garnished with peanuts and sesame seeds. That mala sauce seasoning is definitely there. Heat, a little bit of numbing. Flavor's great. Take a look at that. That's everything you want. Got a little mushroom. Looks like kelp. Nice addition. Got a little bit of iced tea here, just lemon. Sweet. It's got a little bit of a fruit. It's almost like lychee. Good. I haven't had any coffee today, so I also got a white coffee. Looks like it's got jelly. Yes, it does. So dark bits floating around in there. I got grass jelly. Which gives you that sort of bubble tea experience, but not bad. Good tasty foo-foo coffee to start my day. It's 11, my day's already started, but you know what I mean. Try some of the noodles. Spices, Szechuan peppercorns, hot peppers, garlic, definitely. Has a very distinctive, slightly sour taste, but then you get that heat and the numbing from the Szechuan peppercorns. It's fantastic. Good stuff. Let's move on.
After lunch, the next area I explored was bird paradise. The wide variety of bird species represented is testament to the combination of the park's original birds with those of Jurong Bird Sanctuary and Park, which, up until it closed in 2021, I think, was the largest bird park in Asia. Needing more space, Mandai created Bird Paradise, and the inhabitants of Jurong Bird Sanctuary were moved at the beginning of 2023. It is an expansive area of over 49 acres and hosts some 315 species of birds, many of whom are free to roam within large netted enclosures. Footsore and weary, I returned to the food court near the entrance to the zoo to rest and grab a quick dinner while waiting for the sun to go down and my traverse of the final part of the park, the night safari, could begin. The crowd was way noisier that evening than earlier in the day, so I gave up trying to record video, but this is what I got. Chow fun noodles with pork and assorted and difficult to identify dim sum. Really delicious. I like chow fun noodles. They are, in some ways, a bit of an acquired taste. They're very squishy. They have almost no chew to them. I mean, they don't just like dissolve on your tongue, but they're very, very soft and floppy. And Chris doesn't like them all that much because there's just not a whole lot of texture. And they don't have a whole lot of flavor, so typically you'll see, like in this photo, that they're kind of sit in a lake of some sort of sauce. It's usually kind of a soy and rice vinegar combination, sometimes with like some chopped peanuts, green onions, that sort of thing. And the dim sum, like I said, was difficult to identify. Pork, shrimp ish, I don't know. It wasn't the greatest thing that I've had, and certainly not the best dim sum I've had, but I do like the chow fun noodles, and it was a simple meal. A lot of the stuff right there at the entrance to the zoo kind of caters to the tourists, so there wasn't anything really all that interesting to me to eat. And it's just mostly just getting something to eat, more hydration into me because I was just pouring sweat all day long, and yeah, just a chance to rest up before the night safari. There are two ways to do the night safari, and I discovered too late that you really need to do both. So they have a tram ride, which is certainly a lot easier on the feet. They take you around to some of the larger enclosures and usually some of the larger predators. And, they do have informational presentations at each stop. So that's definitely a good way to actually learn about the animals and, see some of the larger predators. However, there are a lot of walking trails that kind of crisscross the night safari area. And don't worry, they actually have crossing guards anytime you walk across the roadway that the tram goes on. But it takes you to some of the smaller enclosures and exhibits that the tram just doesn't visit, with more placards that you can read, like a regular zoo. So you kind of need to do both to see both the large and the small. You'd need to come prepared, however, because a lot of the trails you travel by moonlight, and they have some lighting occasionally, but there are a lot of trails that are just dark. And if you're creeped out by walking through tropical plant life, even if you're on a concrete pathway, if you're what feels like you're walking through the jungle in the deep of night, it can be a little unnerving. And they do discourage you from actually bringing a flashlight, because that'll ruin your night vision, everybody else's night vision, and more to the point, it could actually ruin the animal's night vision. So that's what I can say about the Singapore Zoo. Definitely worth a visit. Definitely worth visiting over a couple of days. Especially if you're as flat-footed as I am, it will be a lot more enjoyable experience if you spread all the walking out over several days, or pick the park that you're most interested in seeing. And that's really up to you. They have a lot of really good information on the website, so that'll help you select it. If you do go for the night safari, I recommend getting at least an inexpensive night vision camera. I got this one. It's a G-Alpha, and I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm not really endorsing them. This is just what I got. I got it off of Amazon. It was $70. And it did a pretty good job. As you could see from the clips, it did an okay job. One thing is it's meant for basically for viewing game, which is fine because you're going to a zoo. However, it makes the assumption you're looking at things from a distance. And so anything within about 50 feet of you is going to be too close, and it's going to actually go beyond the frame of the image that you're seeing. You need to be a bit a ways back. So I would shop around, see what what your budget is, and the sort of user reviews that you see that kind of give you an idea of its performance. This one did fine. I just needed to back up a bit. The other thing is blacklight. I got a blacklight flashlight, for the earlier gag of checking my hotel room for mystery stains. Surprisingly clean, by the way. But as it turns out, having the blacklight flashlight, it's not so bright that it ruins your or anybody else's night vision, and there's less chance that you'll bother any of the animals either. But it is enough illumination, sort of this purple light on the ground that you see, that kind of allows you to at least pick your way over any trip hazards or anything like that.
Not that there were any. The trails were actually really well maintained. Um, and but you are wandering around in the dark if you're walking the trails during the night safari, and so getting turned around is pretty easy. So having that little flashlight is a big benefit, and it, like I said, it doesn't bother anybody. um, so that's it for now. That's my sort of, I guess, review of the Singapore Zoo and some of the food that's on offer. There are other restaurants available, but they were more sit down restaurants, and I was looking more for quick meals on the go. But I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next installment of my Singapore adventure.